It is estimated that we come in contact with 80,000 people in our lifetime. Of all of those people, it is exceptionally rare to come across somebody that is the epitome of a good person. Someone who gives and gives, and not because they're looking for recognition, but because that's just who they are. Through their actions, they impact and shape the lives of those around them without even realizing. If you're lucky, you'll come in contact with them more than once. But if you're as fortunate as me, you'll be born into their family.
My husband Lou has been so supportive and wonderful to me all my life.
What an amazing man he is, right? We are so fortunate that we've had him in all of our lives.
He gives from his heart, never not expecting it to come back.
The want to give, I think, came from this beautiful man that we're talking about, by his example.
He is actually the meaning of loving and caring and total compassion for family.
I really enjoy being there and being part of that.
If you want to be anything like him, you have some pretty big shoes to fill. And quite honestly, I think Grandpa has unfillable shoes.
I've had two grandparents. They both passed away early. So later on in life, being where I am now, he's filled that role immensely.
This is all because of Papa Lou, because of Moose, because of my dad.
It really all came from Dad. It all came from my father.
It didn't occur to me until like the other day. Holy cow. He did all of that.
He built this. Like, this is what he built, and it's beautiful.
Papa is just the ultimate example.
I've always looked up to him.
Lots of guidance there, and a lot I learned through his stories that I'll just continue to carry with me forever.
Growing up around Papa, it was just those little things that kind of stuck with me.
He always made you feel comfortable.
That was always something I enjoyed.
It makes me proud. I'm a proud granddaughter of Lou Cecchini.
The legacy he has left is insane, and I appreciate everything that he has done for me and my family.
My name is Lou Cecchini. The V is for Vincent. I was born in New York City, actually, in 1938. I actually grew up in the city, which we would call the Upper East Side, which is really Harlem. We lived there just for a short time, and Dad seen a way to get us out of the city and bring us into the country. When I go to Saunders Trades and Technical High School, real old boy school, you have your great kids and you got your criminals. I took on auto mechanics and I graduated, and that was in June of 1957. Now, mind you, I've already met my wife Arlene. It was in July of 56. And how I met Arlene was in a gas station.
And I was with my sister, and I said to her, he's going to ask me out. And she said, will you go out with him? I says, who knows, I might end up marrying him. And I did.
She said, who knows, I may end up marrying the guy, which she did.
And I remember asking him when he asked me out, I said, do you have a car? He says, yes, I do.
And the first thing that always cracked me up is that, do you have a car? I said, well, I'm asking you out. What do you think we're going to walk?
Because the last date I had was on a bus.
And she said, well, I don't know. Maybe he's going to ask me out. We got to go for a bus. So, of course, I have a car. From school, I went to service. It's my job. I went into a 101st Signal Battalion in Yonkers. And I went to a signal corps. And we were dealing with radios, telephones, switchboards, teletypes, all kinds of new. In those days, today it's funny, you laugh that they were in the garbage, but in those days they were the new communication. But I did it all, and I managed, and I made it all work for me. In August of 1963, I got out. So what do? I looked through the newspaper for business opportunities, and I seen the business opportunity that, how about dry cleaner? Yeah, dry cleaners. I make pretty good money. I don't think you gotta be a lot of smarts. Let's look at that. I bought a dry cleaners in 1968. Opened it up April 1st, 1969, in a town where there was more cows than people.
Dad's been in the fire service for probably almost 57, 58 years now. It's something that he was very passionate about and something that I fell in love with.
Probably the funnest thing that we did do with Dad was, as we got into early teens, we got into the fire department.
We were so interested in the fire department, my brother and I, that on our 18th birthday, the day we turned 18, there was a meeting, happened to be the monthly meeting that night, and he and I joined. I think Dad was pretty proud of that.
That was the greatest thing in the world.
But as time went on, it became more of a thing for just Dad and I.
And I was working my way. I was going to become chief soon.
The night he became chief, I was voted in as a second assistant foreman. So it was the first time in the history of the department that I'm aware of that a father and son were line officers together.
And become a chief, it takes 99% of your time.
Even though he worked so many hours and volunteered and he was gone a lot, it was never a question that his family came first. You never, ever felt like you were second to any of those things.
We grew up with a sense of knowing how important it is to be a part of a community.
If anybody ever needed anything, he was there, whether it was money, time, a meal, it didn't matter, and he would never tell anybody. You never knew that that person was living with us. You never knew that he loaned somebody money. He never told anybody.
He is extremely successful in everything he's done, in every aspect of his life. I aspire to be him. You know, he's successful in his marriage. He's successful in the family that he's brought into this world. He was successful in business. He was an admired firefighter. He was an admired school board member. You know, just the things he did, the things he does, he's just so respected.
Probably the biggest thing that sticks out was for me was living up to my father's reputation, and above all, he had to be proud of me, no matter what.
Papa is just a very supportive grandfather to all of us, and he is just always so proud of us, no matter what we're doing. You know, he was so proud of me when I was a student. He was just as proud of me when I was a server at Jumboland, and now he's just still so proud of me working at a university. So kind of no matter what we're doing, he just always has this pride and is just so proud of his grandchildren, and that reflects really well on us because, you know, we're able to say that we have such a proud grandfather.
Being able to grow up with somebody to look up to like that has just been an absolute blessing.
And I look up to him. I hope to be just like him one day.
Papa is the
literally the best man. Like, you know, and what he has modeled is just so much love and care that you can literally see in every one of us. You can see him in every one of us.
You know, he just has all these good traits that I feel like, you know, every one of us in that he has spawned has traits of him, but not all of them.
The minute he walks in the door, he just makes you smile. It's like, oh, there's Papa. You hear his voice. It's like, oh, there he is. You know, he's just so genuine. It's amazing. It really is amazing just how amazing of a man he is.
Super blessed to grow up around him and be able to call him my grandfather. It's just super amazing.
He definitely has put in a role in my life where I aspire to be, you know, the parent that he has been.
I have just always loved how he loves and how he treats people, and just one of my favorite people in the universe, and I love him.
I just love him to death, and I'm just so thankful to be part of this family. I would do anything for them as they would do for myself and Lisa, or any of our kids for that matter.
It's a true honor to be part of this family, and I hope, like I said, I hope one day to be half the man that Grandpa is.
You can't really ask for a better grandfather than who Papa is.
I just love him so much, and I'm so grateful that God gave me this family and that he was the head of it.
I think if everyone had a husband like mine, everyone would be happy.